Don't lose your way. Your mind, we have to be as one. Don't be afraid. Let's return. This is the way to be more strong.
Hello everyone, Josh here with Joshverse, where anything is possible. So today we're going to be showcasing how to reroll using Grand Chase. Now today we're going to be using the LD player. You can do pretty much all of these same steps almost exactly on Nox if you are a Nox player as well. But today we're going to be using LD player. I just feel the LD player feels a little bit more lightweight and it's easier to do rerolls on and play on. I don't know, just my personal opinion. But you guys, if you are using Nox, again, like I said, you can use a similar path here. So anyways, you want to make sure that you have your multiplayer open up for both Nox and LD player and your main emulator opened up as well, and make sure you download, of course, Grand Chase and install it from the Google Play Store. And once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and start getting into the steps for the settings. So you're going to want to find the settings button at the very top on Nox. On here, it's also the three lines. You go down to settings here on the LD player, and again, you're going to want to go into the settings for Nox. Pretty much do everything I'm doing, but on Nox. Just make sure that you're in a similar area. So you can set up your resolution to be tablet or mobile. It doesn't really matter. Make sure you're only using 2 cores. Even on Nox, only use 2 cores. You can set up your resolution to be lower if you want for a lower DPI. Just because we're going to be doing multi-instant rerolling, which makes rerolling a lot faster. Now, if you don't have a very good PC, you can reroll with just one screen, and so that's fine as well. It'll just take you longer to reroll if you don't get lucky. That's the only difference. And you'll be able to skip way to another point of video, which I'll have the skip on the top, the timestamps. So don't worry, if you are only doing this on one screen, you can skip to that step. But anyways, back to what we were doing. So make sure your CPU usage is at 2 cores. You can set up your resolution to be as low as you possibly want. I'm just going to do mine at 720 by 1280 right now. You can always change these later on when you are done rerolling, just to save up on space and to not kill our PC or CPU or anything like that. And then we go over here to basic. You got to make sure that enable root permission is turned off. Go down here to properties. I don't think you have anything else to change. I do believe that is all you need to change. And you're going to set up the similar thing. Now, make sure that you're using OpenGL and not DirectX if you are in the settings for Nox. That setting is not in LD player, but it will be, and I think by default it's on DirectX. So make sure you change that in Nox. And once you're done doing that, you can save all that up. I don't need to save it because I've already done it. And when you do save it, it will ask you to restart Nox or LD player. So make sure you go ahead and do that. So now that you're done at that point, you want to come over here and select the multiplayer. I believe it's Control +2 for LD player and Control +6, I believe, for Nox. You should be able to see the button on the right side in Nox anyway by default, but if you can't find it, I believe it's Control 6 for Nox and Control 2 for LD player. And then it'll open up this bad boy right here, and it'll show that you're running one LD player. Now, we can't make more instances until we actually close the one we're currently running, so we're just going to go ahead and close that up. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and close it. Now that we have just LD multiplayer set up here, or the Nox multiplayer, whatever you're using, just select whatever emulator you're currently running, and you want to do a batch, and we're going to go ahead and, let's see, batch clone. You want to do batch clone, and we'll do 5. You can even change that, but before we do that, before I forget, go to your optimization or your multiplayer settings if you're on Nox, which should be somewhere on your multiplayer panel, and make sure you turn your FPS down to 20 for multi-instancing, because you don't want the FPS to completely just collapse onto itself. Because if you're running multiple instances of an emulator going at 60 frames per second, your PC is not going to be happy, and you could cause yourself some problems, some lagging, some messing up and stuff like that, especially when we go to Synchronized. You don't want those problems. You don't want those latency issues too much. So definitely make sure you change your FPS down to 20 if you are doing multi-instancing. So make sure you do that. Everything else you can kind of leave as is. It really doesn't matter. These are more just quality of life adjustments down here that you can play with. It's just kind of the spread of how you want the screens to appear on your screen. Nox has a similar setup. So again, that's just your personal preference. It's not really required to do anything. So once you're done with that, now we can go in and batch. We're going to go ahead and batch up to 5. Nox allows you to actually select how many batches you want to do. You can do 1 at a time, 5 at a time, 10 at a time, whatever you want to do. But we're just going to do the default here, recommended, and just batch clone 5. And make sure you clone, not make new. You want to clone. So we're going to go ahead and batch clone 5 players here. And we're done. All right, so we have all 5 of them here. So we are good to go. We're going to go ahead and just check mark 3 of them. And, you know, you can just batch. I believe you can just batch open. Well, no, I guess you can't. Oh, yeah, you can. Start selected. Here we go. So we're going to be the ones that we selected. The first one, the second one, and the third one. We're going to go ahead and open all 3. They'll be opening at a 5-second interval in between. So the first one will open up 5 seconds later. The second one will open up. And then 5 seconds later after that, our third and final one will open up. And the reason why I like to put these in mobile view is a lot easier to have them sorted on the screen at first until we start getting, you know, acclimated to our setup on how we want them. And try not to have too many apps or anything open. Don't be having like you know, Photoshop open or Steam open or a bunch of you know, internet browsers or a bunch of other, you know, because right now I just got Discord open. And I got, of course, Streamlabs open because I'm recording. But when you guys are doing this, definitely try to have everything closed out as possible because, like I said, the less strain on your PC, the more smooth the reroll process will be. All right. So there we go. So our original will be on the left side. So we'll go ahead and stick that there. We'll go ahead and stick this here. We can actually go ahead and minimize that now. You can actually exit out if you really want to. But I like to keep it up just in case we have any kind of issues. You can try and just get these kind of lined up as best you can. You can even, alright, so LD Player 2 just disappeared on me, so I'm just going to go ahead and restart it back up. Alright, now we're back. So, yeah, guys, make sure that you actually have your resolutions pretty small before you did that, before you click Align Windows. I was completely unaware. I never really usually do that. I was just going to do it for the video, and I was like, yep, that was a big mess up. So, anyway, now that we're back in business, so we have LD Player, you know, the main one, the second one, and the third one. They don't have to be exactly the same size. It really doesn't matter. So now what we're going to do now is there's going to be a button called Operation. It should be Operation Synchronized or Synchronize on Nox. So look for a button called Synchronize on the right side. It should be near the bottom as well. Go ahead and pop that open. And make sure you have both the LD Player 1 and 2 or your Nox Player 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 or however many you're doing at once. Make sure you have those all check marked here in the box. Make sure you select all. And we're going to go ahead and synchronize them all together. Now what synchronizing does is basically whatever I do on the main one should happen on all the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and click Grand Chase. Let's go ahead and turn that down for you guys. Just going to make these much smaller here, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So we have that one right there, we have the one right here, and then we have our main one right here. So now what we're going to do is select whatever region that, of course, you want to play the game in. For me, it's going to be Global North America. So we're going to go ahead and click Global North America, click Log In. Now, do LD download. You can do the HD download later on. The LD download is so much smaller. Make sure you do that one. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but definitely go with the smallest route. Like I said, you can always go to the big one later. And then you definitely want to click confirm on that. And I will try to cut up this video as much as possible. Like anytime we have any kind of like big major delays, like waiting for things, kind of like this, I'll have it skipped. So I'll be back when the download's over, guys. Alright guys, we're back. So the data download, I do believe, is done for all 3 of our LD players, or Nox if you're on Nox. So we're just waiting for the checking assets from the local saving spot to go through on all 3 of the versions of the game. And we will be logging in each one. We will be logging into the game as a guest login. We're not going to do any kind of account binding. You do not want to do that until, of course, you get the account you want. And you can also select a username that's just a fake random bunch of numbers or whatever that you'll never use, because you do get to change your username for free in this game. So that's pretty awesome. So you can do that later on when you actually get a dedicated account, which is really, really cool. I like that they actually did include that. But this will take another moment, so I will be right back when it's done checking the assets. Alright, we're back. So we're now at the actual, login screen. So like I said, we're not going to be doing any kind of binding yet. We're going to go ahead and click guest login. And that should click guest login for everyone. And and you got to wait. Now you want to make sure that all three are caught up to each other. That way when you do the synchronizing and stuff like that, you're not messing up. So make sure you are watching your other screens as well. It'll ask, will you log in as a guest? Yes, we will. It says don't delete, blah, 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 blah. You'll lose your account, of course. It doesn't matter because we will bind the account that we do choose to eventually save when we are done rerolling. So you want to go ahead and click continue and then wait for that to go through. Alright, there we go. So it's going through here. We're going to go ahead and just accept user agreements. It's coming up a bit messed up right now because of the multi instances that we're having right now, but it is just a privacy policy agreement. You have to agree to it, so just click accept. It'll go through and accept all of them, which we're going to do right now. Alright, now it's asking for to enter a nickname. So we're going to go ahead and just click enter nickname. Wait for it to show up the text box for everything. Just go ahead, type in a bunch of numbers. It doesn't even matter. Make sure you're good there. Click OK. And click confirm. Alright, and now we'll be loading into the game. Finally. Tap to start. Let's go. Or touch to start, rather. Now the reroll process commences. And you will have to do this every single time that you want to keep redoing it. You're going to have to go back in, log in as a guest, go through this, go through the quick tutorials, and, etc., etc. And then when you get to your summons, you get to do your free 10 summons, and then you're out of there. So we just got to wait for this to load really quick. I don't know why our first one was actually loading really slow compared to the other two. Was like boom. That was so weird. But yep. Alright, so after the prophecy, blah, 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 it's going to ask me to skip, but I can't click that yet because I'm still waiting on the main one. I don't know why the main one is lagging behind so much. I think it's probably because I'm recording at like I'm like recording at like high definition, like at like 2K plus. So it's definitely slowing me up a little bit. So it won't probably be this laggy for you guys, because I am on a very, very, very good PC, but I am, like I said, recording at a very high resolution right now. So it definitely causes an issue. So we're gonna go ahead and click skip. Should skip for everybody. Yes. And again, you just want to keep your eye on the other monitor, the other emulators, because you want to make sure everything is caught up to the initial one that you got synchronizing right now. That way you don't have any kind of latency issues. You want to make sure that you get everything, going smoothly as best as possible. When it comes to emulators, nothing goes smooth, but we gotta do our best, right? So we'll be right back as soon as this loads up. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just skip this one as well. It's going to take us to this little battle sequence. Now, guys, from here on out, it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to tell you to click this, to click that, to move here, to move that. So, I will actually be back when we get to the actual summoning part, and then we'll discuss more there. So, I'll see you guys then. Alright, guys, so we're back. I didn't want to stop at the summoning part because I forgot this part will come up when you load into the menu for the first time. So really quickly before we jump to the summoning section, make sure that you click next time. Do not bind these accounts yet because there's no need to bind an account that you're not planning to keep and you don't know what you're going to roll yet. So do not click bind yet. Go ahead and click next time, and then it'll take you through the rest of the tutorial. Now I will meet you guys at the summoning section. Alright guys, so we're back. So, as soon as you start the tutorial, it'll ask you to click skip at the top. If you've done so, you're probably right here, which you guys could have seen clearly on the screen. We're going to go ahead and just click back here at the very top where it says adventure until you are back here at this screen. Go up to your envelope and grab your rewards. Don't worry about the daily login right now. We're worried about the system mail. Go to system mail and click receive all. So go ahead and do that. You can even grab your, pre-registration S rank ticket. Really, it doesn't matter because we don't even know if we even use that right now. The ticket now, right here, since we are at this point, if you do decide to keep your account, what character should you go for? Well, the consensus from the fellow community, so I thank you guys so much for this, they said to actually go ahead and scroll down here and actually pick up Olivia. They said Olivia is the hero that you want to pick up for free with your free, 4-star ticket, to go with Olivia all the way. That was the majority vote, so go with Olivia. If you're not sure, just don't claim your ticket yet and ask around in the community. So, now that we are here, go down to shop, and this is where we'll actually get to finally do our 10 summons. So, it's going to make you do your free summon first, which it's whatever. It's just a free rare summon. It's not a premium summon, so it doesn't really matter. Just gonna go ahead and wait for that to show up. Using the shop, rip. Go ahead and skip through this. All right, cool. So doing our free summon. All right, let's go. So just wait for it to get done doing all this good stuff. All right. So we pulled a Mandragora, we pulled a Dark Spider, Navaris, and a Graduate Erdene. So go ahead and skip that. Cool stuff there, whatever. But here is what you've all been waiting for. Go up here to Premium Hero Summons. We got our 10 free. We're going to just do the multi because you get 10 plus 1, so you get 11. So it's definitely better to do the 10. And I believe you get a guaranteed rank 4-star or higher bonus currently when you first start your summons. So go ahead and do that, and here's where the fun starts. Go ahead and click buy. And we are now finally re-rolling. Now, we can just skip if you want, which we'll probably do that for the sake of the video. Let's just go ahead and click skip and see if we pulled anything absolutely amazing. We're just going to keep skipping. Okay. So, if we look at our first account here, we pulled 0 5-stars. So, that is a dead account. Second account, we pulled 0 5-stars. Again, a dead account. And our third account here, we pulled another dead account. So, these would all be garbage. So what you do now is you go ahead and you click confirm, and you realize, okay, all these accounts are trash. Click up here to the home button, the very, very top right, and now you'll see the little gear. Click that. That'll be the settings. And right here, it'll say delete account right underneath customer support. We're going to go ahead and click this. Now, if you want to save the account, if it's a good account, you'd want to come over here and sign in with Google, Facebook, or with Twitter. And then you'd, of course, bind your account like you would with any gacha. You can also click up top and change your nickname to whatever you want it to properly be if that account is indeed the one you want to keep. But we don't want to keep any of these, so this is how you restart the reroll process. So you click delete account. It's going to make you type in delete account, physically type it in, which is what we will do. Make sure it all goes through here, word or letter for letter. Oh, see, we already made a misplay. All right. So just making sure, because I got to double check on all 3 screens. So delete account, delete account, delete account. Click OK. Click confirm. And bam. And now you start the reroll process all over, guys. You go ahead and you click Grand Chase, open it back up, and do it all over again. It's that simple. So, guys, that is how you reroll on Grand Chase. I hope I was able to help a lot of you out. Sorry for a lot of the cuts, a lot of edit cuts in there. I was trying to make it quick as possible. So, anyways, if this was helpful, show us some love and drop a like below, comment below as well. If you guys pulled anything fire, join us in our Discord group, which you can find in the description below. And above all else, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. We are close to 10K. Very exciting here. And if you guys want to see some more Grand Chase content, you know, make sure you don't want to miss a beat. Also, tick those notifications when you do. And I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, peace.